Still trying to raise up for a new HP Omen laptop. I need all the help I can get. Want a shout out? Link in the description below. December 28th, 2:30 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, through pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please. Please. Witness testimony. The DL6 incident. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot. Then, a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. That trial he mentioned? That was after IS-7. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot. Then, a scream. A single gunshot, huh? Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence. Unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Yeah, I actually do. This photo. Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please. Please get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. The contradiction lies here. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see. A bullet hole in the door? Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot. Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary? That's on page 1. Look what it's written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So, all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. Yeah, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick! If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No! But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick! Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only one bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my judgment. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though. That was not your intention? Yes, I did.
Oh no! He's accepted the guilt!
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright?
Objection!
Your Honor? I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Oof. Nick?
I don't know. His case is perfect.
Oh no!
Ah!
It must exist. The second bullet.
What? What did you just say?
Nothing.
The second bullet must exist? But where?
Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it existed.
What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor.
I'm really grasping here.
It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet. But why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
No.
Why would the murderer have spent their time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah! The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Ugh!
Had to take it.
Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean?
You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor? I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take that bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance...
For instance, what?
Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer?
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there, you know?
Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head. But what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer themselves was shot? Sorry for that, Lib. And they left with the second bullet still inside of them? Thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime?
Yes. I guess that's how it would work, yes.
But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean
the murderer came from outside, yes.
The two men fight inside the elevator.
Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you said.
What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it!
No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick.
Huh?
I just thought of something really crazy.
Crazy?
Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
It must have been quite a shock for von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting.
What if von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean
it could only mean one thing.
He was the murderer in the DL6 incident.
He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth.
It was von Karma.
Oh, man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed.
No, Your Honor.
Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now?
Yes. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
What? Von Karma!
Von Karma!
You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection?
Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Ugh. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is.
It's no use.
Edgeworth.
I know Von Karma. Perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness.
Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane.
No, he couldn't have.
You can't just pull bullets out of yourself.
Wait, what does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot?
Yes!
All right, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is this metal detector. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean? I do.
there is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma.
Is that even possible? For all these years?
Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find.
I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order, order, order!
Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector.
Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now.
Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean?
I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Bingo!
He reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma?
You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen. And so, I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright, well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close. 1 day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof!
That's a bullet? Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago.
Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate.
We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma! It was you who screamed! Mr. von Karma? Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me! So, it was you. You and your father are my curse! Your father saved me with a penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death! Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry. But you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now! End it! Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? You are innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. December 28th, 5:38 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2.
Nick! We did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual.
He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed.
It was pretty close, though.
I was sure we had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory.
So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this.
I know. Try thank you.
I see. Thank you. Right. You're welcome.
I think you could have done better than that.
Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing.
You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth.
She's got you there.
Whoop!
Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares?
See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you.
I see. Whoop! I feel foolish.
Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it.
It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded.
Hey, y'all. Lotta! Y'all were great in there.
Thank you.
Yo, Edgeworth, congrats.
Thank y'all very much.
I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your head in the cookie jar even if no one was there.
You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you?
Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh?
Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta?
Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick.
Really? That's too bad.
Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park?
Huh?
It's over, Nick. My life is over.
Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now?
Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world.
You don't look sick.
It's Kianse. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind.
Should have seen that coming.
Yo, Edgy, there you are.
Yes, here I am.
Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration.
Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal.
Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick, that's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right?
I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount.
I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either.
$38 exactly?
Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school?
$38? No.
No! Larry! It was you!
What are you so surprised about, Wright?
Huh?
Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect.
What?
Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he stole the money lying there. And the rest is history.
I never was good at history.
Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember?
Yeah, too well.
Right. You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts.
I know.
Really, Wright? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out.
Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh?
Edgeworth,
You should have told me.
Now, Nick. It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'd say so, yes.
There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did.
Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist.
Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if I had only known, I'd have become a prosecutor.
The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth, want to switch right?
Hey, y'all, line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go.
And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. December 29th, 5:02 a.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts.
Huh? It's still only 5 a.m. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter?
Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you. It made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So, I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium, for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick.
Goodbye? What time is it? Ah! The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station!
I guess I'm too late.
Hey! Nick?
Maya!
So, you're leaving?
Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay?
Hold it! Wait!
What?
I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help.
Huh?
On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice.
You heard my sister?
Yes, only her voice. But still, it was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything.
Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick.
But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya.
Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze.
Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped.
Evidence?
Yeah, I do. Take that.
A bullet?
Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me.
Nick.
Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you.
I'll be back soon.
Huh?
I'm going to complete my training and come back.
Okay. I'll be waiting.
Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless.
I don't know about that.
So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick.
And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Uh-oh. Got a bad feeling about this. Objection! What a way to end it, honestly. That was one hell of a journey. Hey, pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? He wasn't that embarrassed, honestly. I do not blame him given the amount of hell that he went through.
Huh? Nick? Nah, I haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah.
Oh, Larry, why do you keep doing this to yourself?
Seriously.
Who? Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring any old bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful.
Not really. You were just a punching bag to him. Phoenix Wright? The defense attorney from whom I wrote that affidavit for, yes. Oh, you should know I've taken over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Well, who knows? Who really knows? Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright. Ah, yes. Mia's understudy, is it not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. The days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Who really knows, honestly?
Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Did you?
Oh my god, this is just gonna go on and on. Yeah, that's the one thing I dislike about Old Bag. She just goes on and on. I don't have the vocal cords to handle it. My vocal cords are about to die. But seriously, I love doing this with commentary. I'm pleased to announce The Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? Don't worry, we'll be seeing you again. That I promise. Trust me on that.
Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway?
Yeah, she lives in the mountains, but that we won't reveal until the next game.
Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. All right. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age.
Yikes. Yikes indeed.
Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh, me? I've been trained to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them there's a ghost. For real, now that that's talent, I'm gonna be famous.
I hear you on that. Hear you on that indeed. Yeah, it's Mia. At least she's happy knowing things have ended the way it did. But is it really the end? No, it's not! Yep, there's one more episode. Yes, for those that don't know, the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney ended with 4 episodes on the Game Boy Advance. When this game came out for the Nintendo DS, it was remade, and they added a 5th episode along with it. We will be covering that pretty soon. So yeah, that is it. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. I will see you in the next one. In episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. See you then.